Well, we made it. Happy New Year. Happy New Decade. Welcome to 2020. And welcome to the Fun Astrology Podcast for New Year's Day, January 1st, 2020. Hope that your transition from the last decade and the last year was a very good, safe, and fun one, and contemplative, hopefully. Because as I'm still sitting here looking at the birth chart of 2020, which is midnight, and I'm looking at Eastern time, what I'm seeing is something pretty interesting. So I have the privilege of doing a reading. Somebody booked a reading for a baby that was born back in October. And I've been thinking about how to approach this, not only from the standpoint of communicating a message to this young soul that will be listening to this probably in her, I don't know, early teens maybe, but also a message to the people who are going to be influential in her life. And I'm so thrilled that they are conscious and want this information in hand so that as they mold and shape this soul, they will be doing it with conscious wisdom and awareness. And I'm just so honored to be a part of constructing that. And in thinking about, this was October, so the energy was a little bit more dispersed, thankfully. But, think about the kids that are being born right now. We have 5 planets and the South Node. That's 6 energies in one sign. Things are so concentrated in the chart right now. So if you were to look at this from okay, what are we looking at? Because this is not only will be some kids' birth charts, right? It's also the birth chart of the next decade for all of us. And what we are going to be experiencing thematically over the next 10 years is reflected in this chart. So as I look at this, I'm seeing, what resonates to me is that this is super, hyper, concentrated, focused energy around transformation and deep internal personal work. So like I said on yesterday's episode, if you caught that this chart, when I put it up for the Eastern time zone, puts all of this energy in the 4th house, which is home and family. So this is about roots. This is about doing the internal work with yourself and with those closest to you. The other thing that I think is significant is the Neptune-Moon conjunction in Pisces, and that's in the 6th house. So again, people being born now have a little bit of scattering of energy around, and then this massive amount of energy in Capricorn, but not a lot scattered around other parts of the chart. So what I don't see is significant energy in the 1st house. What is that? That's our shining out. Happens to be occupied by Libra, so it's a Libra rising decade. I like that because that's a really good personal visual. I saw a post the other day of Libra rising people. They're beautiful people. Jennifer Aniston was given as one of the examples. There is a beauty about their physiology. That is oh so Libra in the 1st house. But there are no planets there. We go to the 12th house, no planets there. The 11th house, no planets there. The 10th house, the North Node. Ha-ha. 9th house, nothing there. 8th house, Uranus. And then we start to pick up some things as we move through the 7th, 6th, 5th, 4th, 3rd, and 2nd. So I find it interesting that the 2 career houses, if you will, the 10th house being our career and the 6th house being our job, are occupied by the North Node in the 10th and Neptune and the Moon in the 6th. See, this to me reflects that this is going to be a decade about doing the business of personal transformation. In fact, the people being born right now are going to be born into a lifetime of doing personal transformation. So you could see in 20 or 30 years, perhaps, that this industry becomes a lot bigger than it is today, because that's going to be where people's energetic souls are coming from. And I know there's a plethora of information out there now, but oh my goodness, think about what it could grow into and the technologies that could be developed and even the wisdom and insight and consciousness level of the planet. That's an exciting time for sure. And the next 20 years, beginning in 2023, I believe it is, when Pluto moves into Aquarius. Now, that's going to fire off the generational changes. And again, I've said, I think that that's going to look a lot like the 60s. There's going to be social reform. And a lot of the Capricornian stuff around government and business that doesn't work today is going to be shifted. So, since the energy is there and it is amongst us, we might as well start to build some practices in to start to work with it so that we get ahead of it and we are already doing our work and our practice as it catches up with us. Wouldn't that be a great position to be in? So, we'll keep talking about ways and methods of doing that. We've got 2 other great podcasts you can avail yourself of this year if you have not already yet. The Subconscious Mind Mastery Podcast, which I've been hosting since 2013, and then Majana's Life After Life podcast, which she is just rocking and rolling over there and has a great active Facebook group around that as well. So we have resources that you can avail yourself of, and check out our store online at soulfoodtalks.com. We'd love to have you jump in on some of the stuff that we're doing as well. Happy New Year to each of you. We'll see you again tomorrow on the Fun Astrology Podcast.